Hello everyone, I'm Callum, this is V. I'm one of the instructors here at BAHFF, and I want to talk about the really annoying phenomenon of opponents who counterattack you at really inconvenient times, and how it's all their fault, that they're ruining the match, they're ruining HEMA, and they need to get better. Bye, that's the end of the video. Actually, no, so obviously, if your opponent is countering and doubling you a lot, you also have the option to get good and to learn a few techniques that will usually help you overcome this. So the concepts here, you hear this in modern fencing. There's the distance trap and the attack and preparation, and they totally work in HEMA. In fact, they debatably work a little bit better in HEMA because we don't have, say, modern Sabre's electric scoring where almost every hit is a double. So let's just show you a little about how they work. So there are a few basic categories of actions you can take in a sword fight. The most basic one, and sometimes this will just straight up work against your opponent, is a direct attack. Now, Vasanti's just going to imagine she's thinking about dinner or whatever and not do anything to respond to my sword. So a direct attack is just, boom, I hit my opponent. Sometimes this will actually work and you'll simply hit them, but most of the time, they'll at least be trying to parry. So usually if I try to direct attack Vasanti, she will throw a parry. And she might riposte or she might not. But either way, my attack has failed. And usually my response to this is probably going to be something like a feint. I fake my attack over here, and I go in and hit. Now, if I find that my opponent is doing a lot of counterattacks on me and they're causing doubles, what they're probably doing is the correct response to an indirect attack, just maybe a little bit slow. So if I do that feint again and Vasanti sees, oh, this is a feint, and I go to hit her, oh yeah, she counterattacked, and we double. So that's not very good for either of us. On her side, if we want to help her side of this, we want to help her do this better, then as soon as she realizes this is a feint, she immediately counterattacks, and then she catches me before I'm ready to throw my proper attack, and then she's ready to parry on the way out. And so how do I avoid this? Well, there are a few things I could do. One is just wait for her to attack, but that's kind of lame. The other thing, though, is I could do what's called a distance trap. Yeah, which is so I can come into about the distance where V can probably hit my arm. Yeah. So rather than letting her do that, I can come in, pull my hands back, and strike. That's a distance trap. You'll see this in the Lichtenauer system as a Nachreisen. You knew what he was about, I guess. And that could be very, very effective. I've literally gone like 5 hits in a row against instructors where I've just distance trapped them and they haven't known what to do. They will eventually figure it out though. And eventually they're going to start getting a lot more cautious about throwing attacks when it looks like you're exposed. So distance traps are really good. And a lot of people in HEMA are not used to them. So if you do them well, you can get people over and over and over again with them. But eventually, no matter how unfamiliar your opponent is, they will quickly learn that you're baiting them into a trap. Your opponents aren't fools. And they'll start to get cautious. So I might, for example, try to do my distance trap again, but Vasanti's having none of it. So I go in and nothing. Okay. Now I know I'm not going to be able to bait her, but that also means that she's probably going to be a little cautious about doing anything, which is going to manifest as maybe a bigger preparation. So maybe she's coming in, she's chambering attack, and she's thinking about attack and preparation. So as the name suggests, if your opponent is doing something with their sword that doesn't immediately threaten you, some sort of indirect attack, whether it's they're trying to do a feint or they're trying to change guards or displace your sword, whatever. It's a preparation for the attack. They're committing their sword to something that is not directly threatening you. As soon as you see their sword move, say if they go to do a feint, you can just go for it. You have to do it right away, though. The earlier you do the attack in preparation, the more likely you are to be safe. So one of the risks, if I start to be in any way hesitant about my attack in preparation, is that it will not land during my opponent's preparation. So if she is cautiously coming in to attack me, and I'm deciding to do an attack in preparation, and I also do it cautiously, okay, we both hit each other again and we doubled. So that wasn't what we wanted to do. Basically, if you want to avoid doubles, you need to know what category of actions you're doing. Are you doing a direct attack? Are you doing an indirect attack? Are you doing a defense? If your opponent likes to do a lot of do a lot of attacks against you, one thing you can do is a distance trap, like we just showed. Once your opponent gets wise to the distance trap, they're not going to be doing direct attacks anymore. They're going to be doing something resembling an indirect attack. So you can just direct attack them, get them in preparation, and you win. Thank you very much.